Now, if you want to know the key to a happy love life, our next guest has an unconventional take on the subject. She's living... Now, if you want to know the key to a happy love life, our next guest has an unconventional take on the subject. She's living the single life and wouldn't have it any other way. We're joined now from London by author and eligible bachelorette, Helen Croydon. Helen,
hello.
Thank you so much for being with us on the show today. Your kind of way of thinking flips things around. In your recent book, you've pointed out that marriage is something that's pretty new. Do you think we're going about things the wrong way?
Well, new as in the purpose of... The love marriage is new. Throughout history, marriage has always been about building family ties, about important business connections, and the idea that you married your soulmate was quite radical up until about 200 years ago, which, if you think of the whole, you know, since civilization has been, you know, as we know it for 10,000 years, that's very new. So this... I mean, we'll always fall in love. We'll always have, you know, a desire to be in love. But the idea that you kind of base a marriage on that is a very new concept.
So, Helen,
and as a result...
Are you then, sorry to interrupt you, are you then saying that marriage isn't your preferred option, or marriage shouldn't be based on love?
Well, I just... Personally, I've never fancied the marriage and kids lifestyle, honestly. I really just couldn't think of anything worse than picking up someone's socks. And I just think in this day and age, it's great to have love and everything, but... The formula, you know, today for sort of a respected relationship is that you have to live together, you're expected to go to every single social function together, every single holiday together, and I just think that isn't really necessary. I mean, historically, we had to find a partner to survive for social status, for the fact that we couldn't live alone, life was just too labour-intense, and I think we're very lucky that we now live in a society which champions independence and allows us, because of domestic conveniences and financial equality and all these things, to be able to live alone. And that's great. And loads of people are choosing to do that, myself included. But yet there was still this sort of force in society that, you know, if you are in a legitimate relationship, you have to merge your entire lives with each other. And I just think that isn't compatible with the modern world, which champions independence on every other level.
In your book,
so I think we're putting too much...
In your book, Screw the Fairy Tale, A Modern Guide to Love and Sex, I agree with you. I think a lot of people now are quite happily single. I think a lot of couples actually don't do all sorts of things together. I think the independence within a relationship is quite common. But do you find men want to lead the sort of life you're advocating, or do women want to lead it?
Well, funnily enough, it is women who want the more independent life. I interviewed hundreds of people for this book, and there's something that I call everyday singleism, which a phrase that I coined, which is the stigma that single people face. We're constantly trying to be fixed up. No one can believe that we can be happy out of a relationship. And funnily enough, it is men that are at the source of most of this everyday singleism. It seems to be that it's men that can't comprehend a woman that doesn't want to be in this sort of all-encompassing relationship. And I think they're feeling threatened because, again, you know, throughout history, relationships have been a necessity, and women have sort of needed a man for financial independence and also to bring up children. Women have needed a man. Now they don't, and I think men are feeling threatened by that.
Well, don't you think,
fully enough, it is men.
Don't you think men are looking for someone to take the role of their mother?
Wow, this is just getting too heavy.
Yes, I do. And also, you know, studies have been done, and domestically, you know, men get a lot more out of a relationship than women do. It's proven that if a man is widowed or divorced, he remarries quicker than a woman does. And, you know, I think women are just finally cottoning on now that actually they can be independent. You know, the rewards of feminism are finally coming about, and women are sort of waking up and thinking, hey, I can do this alone. And one of the really interesting groups of people I came across when I researched the book was sperm donor mothers. And these women, they actually said, you know, well, ideally, I'd like to meet a guy and start a family with a man. But they said, you know, it hasn't worked out, and in many ways, this is going to be easier because they'll remain in control of their lives, and you know, they're choosing to start families on their own. You know, there's this a real trend, I think, now for women to embrace their independence.
All right. Well, Helen...
Don't tell my wife.
I beg to differ on that one.
I'm getting married in July and I'm kind of feeling depressed now. Don't you ever feel lonely? Don't you just need someone to tell you you're pretty and to, I don't know,
Hold
stroke
you
your
at
hair
night.
at night?
Yeah,
Yes.
And validate your self-worth.
You know, I crave love and partnership just like everyone else, you know, but I think we're brought up to think that that is the be-all and end-all, and that should be our ultimatum in life. And, you know, I would love a lover. I would love a weekend lover. Someone that, you know, have some regularity and compatibility. Just see them on weekends or something. It's just this idea that because you fall in love, it really does. The price you pay for that with modern relationships is it encroaches on every single level of your life. And I just think we need a bit more of a low-maintenance approach to love and relationships. It's all these sort of rules that we put on our partner, which puts a lot of people off.
Well,
and that's why so many commitment
for a
phobes
weekend
around.
lover. Thank you.
We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us on Studio 10. Some food for thought.
If she went online, she'd get about 10 billion hits in 3 seconds.
But surely, isn't the whole nature of marriage about a partnership that works for both people?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think it's really that hard.
So, yeah, I mean, so surely if the woman wants something and the man wants something else, then that's what you work out together.
Yes, but I'm the only one.
Yeah.
I'm the only one here who's representative of what she's talking about. Believe me.
That's true.
I
you want a weekend
I know
lover.
what fun it is.
And you get that naughty twinkle in your eye.
Okay.